Well, I determined that the only way I'm going to get this stupid thing off is to take the wheel off the tractor so I can get a better angle on there with the wrench. And the problem that I'm having is that, sorry about this light here, I don't have any way to get good light on this. Let's see if that's a little better. The problem that I'm having is that when you start wrenching on this, it bends this whole piece that comes out, and I don't want to bend anything. And you know, you see how that whole thing is moving there? I don't know if you can see, but the whole thing is moving up and down. I don't want to break anything off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this with something like a pair of pliers or something, try to hold down pressure on that while I crank up on that. I got it soaked in PV Blaster. If that doesn't work, I'm going to have to heat it up with my torch a little bit, I think. But let's see what we got. That did the trick, taking the tire off. And also, it's going to give me a lot easier access to get to the pump, to take the actual pump off. Now, I expect that I'm going to start dripping fluid out of these lines real soon here. And I got the drain pan down here to catch it when it happens. Let's see. These things are really a bitch to take off. I remember that from doing it on the 812. But yeah, nothing yet. I'm kind of surprised. I figured that there'd be some oil in this system somewhere, but evidently not yet. This one's getting wet, so that's good. Let's see. I don't remember which one is the return line and which one is the line that comes, you know, to the reservoir or from the reservoir, if you will. But yeah. So yep, we got a little bit of fluid dripping out of that top line. This one here, let's see. It's got to be off. It's got to be disconnected. It's just a tight fit that, yeah, just a tight fit. So I don't want to force the line and like bend it or break it or anything like that. So now we've got to get our hex keys and get those bad boys out, and we'll pull the whole pump right off. Loose on the pump, and we'll see if we can pull it off. There we go. Yep, and just as I suspected, there's so much shit in the transmission, and it's all red fluid. So it's telling me that this seal is no good, and it's leaking into the transmission, just as suspected. And you can see how wet the whole transmission looks. I think over the last couple of years that I must have put about 4 quarts of hydraulic fluid in this thing, and it's got to leak out somewhere. And evidently it's blown out the top of the transmission, out the breather or something. But this pump is very dirty, and I really should clean this all up nice before I do anything to it. So what I'm going to do is spray it with like gunk engine degreaser. It seems to work really good for cleaning this stuff up. And yeah, that's going to be my plan. But yeah, what's draining out of that transmission there is all red. So you just got to be careful on here not to damage your gasket. So I'm going to carefully try to remove this gasket. And I can leave it on there. It's not hurting anything. But yes, I do want to clean up all this gunk off of here before we go any farther. So this is about where I was hoping we'd get right now. And then that seal that's in there, you can see it. It's just like not driven in very deep, but that's got to be our problem. So yeah, simple solution, and it's like a $6 part. So we'll go from there. Taking apart the old headlight lens here, and it's a lot better than the one that's in that other tractor. Just got to take out these bolts here on the back, and it'll slide out, and we'll swap it, and we'll get that part of this job done. Next question was, do these new headlights even work? What I did is I took this little wire with an alligator clip and I put it onto the battery, and I'm going to take the hot wire here and just touch it to the battery. And we've got 2 out of 3 lighting. Bulb number 3 here currently is dead. So we'll see if we can get that out and maybe swap it with one of the sockets or bulbs out of the old headlight if necessary. The bulb out, and look how rusty everything is. I mean, the whole inside of the socket here is all rust. This thing's all rust, but I mean, look at the one that's in here. It's way worse than the one that we're replacing it with. So I was actually going to try to clean this a little bit. Maybe I'll use some steel wool or something and try to just get that rust off of there and see if we can get it going again. Out this hole here in the dash to a bigger size. So I filled it out. And there's a 15-30 seconds. And now the new switch fits in there perfect, so should be good with that. So let's just hook up these two wires to it and tighten it up, and should be good. So I thought what we do is we take this Dremel tool with this little wire brush cup and go right into these headlight sockets and try to clean up this nasty rusty crap. So let me give it a shot and we'll see what happens. See, no more rust in there, it's shiny. So what I'm gonna do now is try to put the bulbs back in and see if all three of them work now. Right, so it's time for the money shot. Let's see what happens if I touch this on the battery. Woohoo, yeah, they all work, sweet. So I actually cleaned up the base of the bulbs with that Dremel also, because they're full of rust. And what I did is I bought some steel wool, and I'm actually gonna try to clean this up with the steel wool now. So let's see if we can do that next. Yeah, I steel wooled about half of it here, and it really is working awesome. So I just got a little more scrubbing to do, and I think we'll have a nice shiny headlight bezel, which will be awesome. See, we got it cleaned up pretty good now. Let's see if it still works. Yeah, man, this thing is mint. So, all right, the next step here is that what we're gonna do is, the next step is I wanna paint the front grille. And the first thing we gotta do is take the old headlight bezel out of it. And then we're gonna have to clean it up a little bit, but I got some spray paint during the week and I wanna just paint it because I'm sick of looking at this ugly looking grille. And I figured if we paint the plow and we paint the grille, we'll have a halfway decent looking front of the tractor anyways. It's a starting point, if you will. But yeah, that's it. Good news.